And better late than never. It is a McFile midnight special, and it is not quite midnight in the Central Time Zone. So technically, we came on Friday. We just don't count the Eastern Time Zone in that statement. But we're grateful that you're with us if you're out there tonight. Usually we have a bigger crowd at this time of the night than we do because nobody wants to watch the late night comedians. So they tune into me for their entertainment and their laughter. And this is no longer a This and That Monday. It's been a little while since that one came on. We've had a adventurous week with the sound, so we're keeping our fingers crossed, praying to God that everything's going to go through. Reason I'm so late tonight, we had a glorious Friday night with my grandkids and my Elias David. Got to see him play baseball again this year for the third time. Had dinner with Brandon afterwards. We'd have been here earlier if we'd have just seen the game, but hadn't had supper with the family in a while, and just had a wonderful, wonderful night with them. And we're not going to keep you long. It's already past midnight, but I know that we've got some folks out there that are watching us, and I know that you are up late for a reason, and we sure are grateful for that, and we hope that you've had a good week. We got a lot to talk about tonight. The big news, a couple of big news stories that we'll sort of discuss and get your opinion about. I think the lead story tonight is not Fang Fang's boyfriend, but I think the big story tonight is the return home of the first successful moon mission that we've had almost in 4 decades, and that is Artemis II. Came back to Earth tonight, and they splashed down off the coast of Cape Canaveral with no glitches. And I tell you, some of the imaging from the moon, we've downloaded some of those videos we're going to show you here in a minute. It is some of the most absolute vivid scenes that NASA has put out of the moon in history. So it was a very successful, very, very successful launch and event. And I'm proud of NASA. I'm proud of President Trump for doing it. I don't think we'd have seen this under Biden. We hadn't seen this under Bush Jr. We didn't see it under anybody. The last time we really tried to do this was way back in Reagan's time, and of course that one ended in tragedy, 1986 with the Challenger situation. But I'm really proud of our country tonight, and we should be. We've got so much bad news to choke on, and so much bad news that makes us feel bad about the country. I think this is something we should feel good about tonight. And we're going to show you some of the video of that. Now, Fang's boyfriend is in the news, and we're going to talk about that. Yeah, Marshall, I did make it. It was a little late, but I'm grateful you're here. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see Anna and Bear in the house, and Carol Smith's in the house. Harley Guy's in the house, and we're grateful for all of you. We, as I said, we've had a good week of shows, and we're on a laptop right now, and we are getting it worked out. We're going to get a new desktop or two, and in all our locations that we're broadcasting from to use, and hopefully that will settle down some of the issues we've had this week. But you know, we've been doing this 8 years, and over 8 years you're going to have some days and spells that you just have some tech problems, and we're no different than anybody else. And but we're just grateful to be with you tonight. I want to go to the first of all, I'm going to go to a couple of things to show you tonight regarding Artemis II. And look at what they did tonight, and I'm going to come over here on the screen. Look at what they did tonight in New York City. Isn't this pretty? I'm surprised Zomar even allowed this to happen, but that is the absolute most beautiful trade tower up there, and they basically turned it red, white, and blue in honor of the returning Artemis people. Look at that again. I'll play that again. Look at that. So beautiful. Seeing New York Cityans, when you celebrate freedom, this is what your city can look like. When you embrace the crap you're embracing, you become a something hole. But congratulations to Artemis. That's my dear friend Branko's cartoon. We're going to talk about that. But I do want to play some of these videos. I'm going to get back to that cartoon and this in a minute. But I want to play these moon videos because these moon videos are absolutely fascinating. This is unreal. Look at that right there. That's some of the video from Artemis II. And this one as well, up close and personal. Images that we've not seen probably, again, folks, in probably 40 years. Unbelievable. Just absolutely unbelievable. Here's another one. And I think this one, let me do this. Let me get this one out of the way. I want to get that one out of the way because I want to show you this beautiful picture. This is the Earth. They saw the Earth as they were going on the backside and captured that image of our planet here. Unbelievable. Absolutely unbelievable. Those images, and again, something that we've not witnessed. And again, I think we should celebrate it. I really believe we should celebrate. I'm going to turn the music down on that video there. But such beautiful, breathtaking images, and they came home tonight, and just proud of the crew. And to me, it supersedes anything that Fang Fang's boyfriend has done. We're going to talk about him in a minute. And some other things tonight on this late night special. But let me be the first to congratulate the Artemis II crew. And if you agree with that, put a spaceship. Find a spaceship. Put a spaceship in the house. Sorry. Hanging around my 4 grandkids tonight's got me feeling a little goofy. Eliana, God bless her heart, they passed out cupcakes. One of the little ball players had a birthday tonight, and one of the parents brought chocolate and vanilla cupcakes, and Inslee and Eliana, they got their money's worth out of them cupcakes. That stuff was all over their face, and I had to laugh, and Ezra made sure he got his money's worth too. Poor Elias, he's the one that played the baseball game. He didn't hardly get any of it. It was already gone before he got to him. But it was hilarious tonight. But they enjoyed that cupcake. But put a spaceship in the house if you're proud of Artemis II. And I'm sure that those are images, folks. Again, I'm 61 years old, and I was just a child when the last time that this was actually done right. And goes back to the 60s probably, and early 70s. And I have to say, these are stunning, stunning images. I've read something on a website that this image right here was one of the highest resolution photos we've ever had sent back from the moon of its craters and what it looks like, and it's unbelievable. And again, I want to talk about this gentleman here. We titled our show tonight "The Right Stuff," and I want to say, let me see if I want to make sure I get it right here. That's not it. That's not it. Where's it at? That's not it. That sure ain't it. That ain't the right stuff there. That ain't. Give me 1 minute here. I got something I want to show you, his picture, and I got something to. I'll tell you what I'll do. I've got a better thing. I'll just pull the whole post in from the website that I did. There we go. Actually, Chris got it and saved it. This is Victor Glover. He is part of that crew, and he literally preached the gospel from space over and over throughout the event. And he's the embodiment, and I'll agree with Dave Blass's assessment of modern exploration. U.S. Navy captain, test pilot, NASA astronaut. He piloted SpaceX Crew 1, the first operational Crew Dragon mission, helping restore human spaceflight from U.S. soil. He spent 160 days upon the space station, conducted multiple spacewalks. He come back to Earth today. He was the pilot of Artemis II. He's a true hero of the planet. But what that post doesn't even tell you was that he, throughout the journey, always gave glory to Jesus. And he literally, I'm not joking, was preaching the gospel from space to the entire world. And Mr. Glover, I wish you'd come on the McFiles. My chances of getting you here are about as much as my chances of walking on the moon one day prior to. Unless the Lord comes and takes me up there and lets me do it. But it's class act. And again, I want to celebrate this tonight. I want to celebrate these people because we hear all this bad news and we hear all these horrible things that are going on in our country and the world and Iran, gas prices and all this corruption in D.C. and all these things that are going on. And I think it's worthy of our praise and worthy of our respect to thank God for people like Victor Glover, the pilot of Artemis II, and this whole crew tonight that came back safe, and we want to welcome them back home. And as I said, look at this. We have some folks that know how to do spaceships. We got some spaceships in the house. It's good. That's good to know. And Marshall just put spaceship. Good enough. That's close enough, Marshall. I get it. But congratulations to these folks, and look at those images, man. That is something unreal, isn't it? And look at that picture of the Earth. There was another one they took, and I had it downloaded. I thought I did, but it showed the moon actually in a eclipse. And I think this is another one. This is actually showing Israel when they were flying over the Middle East. They took this picture, and you can see Israel from space. And that's another one, and I want to find that image. Here's another one right here. I think this is one right here. Look at that. That is another image that they took while flying. But one of them had an eclipse attached to it. You could literally see the Earth, the moon, as an eclipse. There's another one of it up close there. These are older images from earlier in the week, but well worth showing. And so forth. So good stuff there, and it's the right stuff. And that should tell us a few things tonight, folks. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. You know, as I said, we hear all the negative and we hear all the bad things, and we hear bad things about our nation in America and bad things about the world. I think this, to me, what this tells me tonight is that we have the capacity to have the right stuff in this country. If we would just put our mind to it, and stop listening to the Iranian-run media here in the United States, and stop listening to the communists in Congress, stop listening to the trash garbage talkers on social media, the ones that President Trump took to the woodshed this week, by the way. We tried to find that True Social post. I'm going to try to get it somehow to read. Maybe we'll do it Monday night. But he was not too kind to Tucker, Megan, Alex, who's losing his lunch tonight, and all these Israel haters. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene believed, she told CNN today, that she truly believed that Trump was going to destroy the whole civilization of Iran. And how the mighty have fallen. And I wouldn't call her mighty. I've got another term for her. But even at this late hour, at 11:50 Central Time, this is a family show, and we're gonna keep it classy because I'm Elias David McDonald's grandfather, and just in case he's up, which I doubt. But we're gonna keep it classy tonight. That's the right stuff, folks. That's the right stuff. That's the right stuff. We're capable of this. We're capable of this, and we should be proud of this tonight. We should be proud as a nation. And, you know, it's sad. It really is sad to see some of the stuff that is going on out there. Bear, I don't believe that the earth is flat. I believe that the earth is round, and all these people that claim that, in fact, I think I saw something today, and I sure thought I downloaded it, and maybe I did. But basically, somebody actually talked about that. And let me see if I've got that here. Oh, I do. I did download it. And I'll just go ahead and do this tonight. This would be a good way to sort of get some of this stuff started tonight. And I'll just go ahead and read this. But Tyler Robinson, Kill Charlie Kirk, The Earth is Round, No One is Born in the Wrong Body, The COVID Vaccine is Poison, God is Real, Jesus Christ is His Son, Communism and Socialism will never work, it never has worked, and it never will work. NATO is a Cold War relic that has done nothing for us. There are many podcasters that lie just as much as the media, if not worse. The media can't be trusted. Everyone that has an agenda, be it good or evil. No one is entitled to come to the United States. Most of Europe are no longer our allies. MEGA, or MEGA, I don't know what that means, is made up of Russian, Iranian, CCP propaganda. That's the media. And we are dominating the war with Iran. And good. I don't know what the person that typed this. Cindy, Trader Jill typed that. I need to ask her what the MIGA stands for. But we have got a media. My dear friend Tony Branco, he posted this video. There's this cartoon, one of his cartoons. Let me get it out. But I want to just, while I'm at it, I have missed meddling all week. We got on the aliens last night, so I might as well make the flat Earth people wrong. I made the alien hunters mad last night, the alien lovers. But I'm going to get the flat earthers upset with me. Folks, please, 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 please don't insult yourself and your intelligence and mine trying to convince me that what we just saw is a fabrication of the earth and the earth is flat. There's nowhere in the Bible that says it. And in Isaiah 49, in fact, 49:21, I know Cleo's out there somewhere. Maybe she can find that verse for me. But it talks about the earth being a circle in the earth. Common sense, even though I got gray hair and get a little crazy sometimes, even Chris can understand that a circle is round. So, that ends that discussion. End of discussion. No need to fight about it. No need to fight about it. It is what it is. It's round, folks. It's a circle. I'm not here to argue that with you tonight. What I'm doing is saying thank you to the Artemis II spacecraft for all these beautiful pictures. We thank you for that tonight. We really do. This is Erica Kirk, and I want you listen to her. I really appreciate Miss Kirk. I hope she knows that.
But it's freeing.
It is free.
It's free.
Listen to that.
You can say, I pray for them, even though they hate me. I pray for them. Because it frees you from, like you said, Pastor James, that poison. And it frees you from that hold that they can have on your heart because you won't let them break you. You won't let the world break you. And it's even personal for me. I have two children to raise. I have an organization to run. I have students counting on me to show up. And that is where my energy goes. Every single day, that's where my energy goes. And, and Pastor James, you know this too, at a micro level, we see it. We live in an attention economy where it's designed to keep people angry and it's designed to keep people divided and continuing to scroll and to get their clicks.
Come on.
And a solved problem.
Come on.
On the internet or wherever, it does not drive engagement. And a resolved grievance does not generate clicks. So some people, have made a very deliberate choice to live their life that way. And you, Pastor James, and all the other people that are inside Bible 365, that is their business. That's not ours. Our business is of the Lord. And every single day, no matter how much you talk about us, that's your business. Our business is the Lord's, and we will just pray for them and keep moving and keep building. That is our business. Our business is kingdom build business. Everything else is.
It's about our Father
Wisely said, young lady. I don't think I've ever seen a widow in my life. I don't know, there's been other leaders of history that have been assassinated. Martin Luther King. Of course, the internet wasn't around during the Abraham Lincoln years, and John F. Kennedy, we didn't have the internet and social media. Jackie O was under a lot of scrutiny. She's been under scrutiny through the years. But I don't think I've ever seen a widow as slandered and lied about and had some of the most ugliest things said about than this lady right here. And these people, and some of them professing Christians, should be plain something ashamed. They should repent. They should get on their knees to God and ask for mercy for the coldness and the cold-heartedness of their diatribes, the cold-heartedness of their lies, their slander, their innuendo, their insinuation, them posting videos of her trying to dig up dirt like a bunch of pigs eating pig slop out of a pigsty. And these people are pigs. These people are snakes. Snakes eat dirt. And the people that listen to it and share it are snakes and pigs as well. We are on a midnight special here, and I must be the night air and that good steak I have in my family, but I feel wired up. I feel a newfound fire all of a sudden in this late night hour. But you should be plain ashamed of the absolute insanity and the absolute absurdity and the absolute liars that you all are. Let me tell you this. I don't care what you think about her personally, but the problem is you have not lost your husband by an assassin's bullet. And by the way, while I'm on the subject of Mr. Tyler Robinson, evidently, according to Gateway Pundit, he confessed to his trans lover today in prison that he expects to die because, quote, I shot Charlie Kirk. I'm just amazed that Candace is not posting that. Tucker is not posting that. Other ministries are not posting that. No, they don't post that. They're not going to report that. But to treat a widow that lost her husband in such fashion less than a year ago, the way we have in this nation, folks, we should be ashamed of ourselves. And the sad thing and the scary thing to me is that people think they're doing God's service in doing it. We call that apostasy. We call that a darkened heart. We call that witchcraft. We call that Jezebel and Ahab. We call that weak men allowing their wives and their leaders and their spouses to spew stuff like that without having a brain and getting away with it. And if she did get angry and sue these people, I would have no sympathy for whatsoever. Just like I got no sympathy for Candace Owens. And look, even Trump tonight, think what you will of Macron's wife, who is a woman. But, you start calling people men and you slander people publicly in a public forum. You think it's cute. You think it's grand. And you get clickbait from it. And then somebody calls you on the carpet and sues your backside from here to Texas. And then you act like the victim. Well, you get what you deserve. You get exactly what you deserve. She showed great restraint. She has showed great restraint, in my opinion. And this is my opinion because this is the McFiles, even at 1 o'clock in the morning. But she showed a lot of restraint in the face of this. I've been praying for her. I've been praying for strength for her organization. I didn't follow Charlie Kirk, and I'll be the first to tell you there are things that I've, listened to Charlie say over the years that we just had a different perspective about. I didn't disagree. I thought the kid was brave as could be. I respected the fact, and I've told my brothers this, I've told my family this about Charlie. And I've even talked to Magdalene Rose about it, our young lady that comes on this show. She'll be on next week. I'm 61 years old. I couldn't go on those campuses and reach those kids at my age and have an inroad to them like Charlie Kirk could. God anointed that young man to be a voice for the gospel, to be a voice for freedom, a voice for conservative values, a voice for marriage, traditional marriage, a voice for the Lord Jesus Christ. He was a Christian. He understood faith. But he had this ability to take the most hardest of critics and the most unbelieving youth and the most what's the word I'm looking for? The most resistant youth. Some of these kids were ugly to him, cussed him, spit on him, and did all sorts of evil and said the most evilest of things. And then the media had so many ugly names when he got killed. You had people making fun of his death. And she had to listen to all that. Her kids have had to listen to this. And now he's gone and it's not stopped. Now she's taken the brunt. Now she's become the evil one. We should be ashamed of ourselves. We should be ashamed of ourselves. His legacy will live on through this woman here, his wife. And we should be praying for her. And it saddens me that we as a nation have reached this point that we do this to widows of slain young men that stood for Christ. It really, really, really shocks me and saddens me. Let me change that word. It don't shock me. I shouldn't say it shocks me. Nothing shocks me anymore. Nothing shocks me anymore. Not in this era. Not in this era. Not in this time. Not in this time. Not in this time. Not in this time. Guys, when you complain, I'm going to play it again. I'll turn the volume up.
It's freeing.
Let me play it loud so you can hear it.
You can say, I pray for them, even though they hate me. I pray for them. Because it frees you from, like you said, Pastor James, that poison. That's right. And it frees you from that hold that they could have on your heart because you won't let them break you.
That's
you
right.
won't let the world break you.
Right. That's right.
And it's even personal for me. I have
right. No,
two children to raise. I have an organization to run. I have students counting on me to show up. And that is where my energy goes.
That's right.
Every single day, that's where my energy goes. And, and Pastor James, you know this too, at a micro level, we see it. We live in an attention economy where it's designed to keep people angry and it's designed to keep people divided and continuing to scroll and to get their clicks. And a solved problem on the internet or wherever does not drive engagement. And a resolved grievance does not generate clicks. Mm-hmm. So some people, have made a very deliberate choice to live their life that way. Mm-hmm. And you, Pastor James, and all the other people that are inside of Bible in 365, that is their business. That's not ours. Mm-hmm. Our business is of the Lord. Mm-hmm. And every single day, no matter how much you talk about us, that's your business. Our business is the Lord's, and we will just pray for them and keep moving and keep building. Mm-hmm. That is our business. That's right. Our business is kingdom business. Everything else is of the world.
It's about our Father.
Very well said. Very well said. Everybody hear that? We good? I hope so, because it was hitting the red button there. So I hope you heard it. Erica Kirk, we need to pray for her. That was my issue. We need to pray for her. Need to pray for her. By the way, this is Bibi Netanyahu. Roll tape.
גיבורנו, את חיילי צה"ל, חיילי הצבא המוסרי ביותר בעולם. ולכן הנחיתי היום לסלק את נציגי ספרד ממרכז התיאום בקריית גת, לאחר שספרד בחרה שוב ושוב להתייצב נגד ישראל. מי שתוקף את מדינת ישראל במקום את משטרי הטרור, מי שעושה זאת, לא יהיה שותף שלנו לגבי עתיד האזור. אני לא מוכן לסבול את הצביעות הזאת ואת העוינות הזאת. אני לא מתכוון לאפשר לאף מדינה לנהל נגדנו מלחמה מדינית בלי לשלם על כך מחיר מיידי.
Now what he's saying there tonight, he's referring to Spain. He's basically saying that the state of Israel will not remain silent in the face of those who attack us. Spain has slandered our heroes. Boy, that's going around in the water these days. the soldiers of the IDF, the soldiers of the most moral army in the world. It was about a 39-second clip. Now, he said more than that, but that's basically the summation of what he was doing. And he's talking about this winner right here. This is the Pedro Sanchez. This is the ambassador, and Bruce Pearl, a dear friend, good guy, he used to coach Auburn, and he's Jewish. He retired this year, and he says, I'm going to call my summer vacation off to Barcelona, and hang on just a second. I need to turn my volume up. This is why I can't try to do it through the mic. Look, he says, look, I'm going to call my summer trip to Barcelona off. I think I will spend my hard-earned money someplace else on vacation. Anybody with me on this? Netanyahu was referring to this guy, which is the Abraham Global Peace Initiative, which condemns the actions of Pedro Sanchez, who has crossed every diplomatic line by withdrawing Spain's ambassador from Israel while reopening its embassy in none other places than Tehran. And he called on the European Union to suspend its association because the Spaniards have gone full-blown Iranian. Full-blown Iranian. And I don't know if you heard about this tonight. We can't make, where's Miller at? I know he's up late somewhere tonight. I don't know if he's still up late. But you can't make this stuff up, folks. I've got to show you this, and this is not a parody. This is not a parody. What I'm about to show you here. I'm going to show you both memes at the beginning, and then we're going to talk about Fang Fang a little bit tonight. I really don't even want to talk about Fang Fang's boyfriend, but we got to because it's a breaking story, and I got a few thoughts about it. This Iranian regime, the one that Spain has basically put its middle finger up to Israel over and said, we're going to close our embassy to you, but we're going to open one back up in Tehran. This same regime that has killed 1 million Iranians, not just other world folks, but I'm talking about their own people, 1 million since 1979. They have murdered critics of the regime, threatened the world with nukes, threatened the world with destruction, Israel with destruction, America with destruction. They denied women's basic rights. They have bankrolled global Islamic terrorism. They allow child marriage and child rape without impunity. And the UN tonight, who everybody's losing their lunch over and their religion over, when Trump says we need to get out of the UN, we need to get out of NATO, and stop putting money in these worthless organizations. Well, they put them in charge, are you ready for this, of human rights and women's rights and anti-terrorism policy. I'm not making this up, as Miller likes to say. We can't make this stuff up. And we can't make this stuff up. This happened today. But the scary part to me ain't even that. I mean, this is just par for the course for the UN. But when you start looking at the countries that supported it, United Nations, or United Kingdom, I should say, Spain, our dear friends, our lovely friends up in Canada, our lovely friends in France, our lovely friends in Germany, our lovely friends in Norway, our lovely friends in the Netherlands, our lovely, look, Australia's a friend to America. We love the Australians, but the government sucks. Government just sucks. But Australia voted for this. Switzerland voted for this. Austria voted for this, and Finland. That's the countries that backed that nomination. And again, they've nominated them to shape policy on women's rights, human rights, disarmament, and terrorism. Sorry. Good Lord. I'm sorry. Even at this late hour, I'm going to choke on a fur ball. Cannot believe it. It actually happened. So that's why we really don't care what the UN says. And we need to get out of the UN and NATO. By the way, this is my buddy Branko. We're going to have him on next week. But give me an I, give me an R, give me an A, give me an N. That's the media for you tonight, folks. You got the media rooting for the Iranians. By the way, the MS idiots tonight, MSNBC and CNN both, MSNBC especially, they cannot help themselves. They told their audience tonight that the Iranians are more honorable than Trump because they believe in something, that they're willing to die for something. They're willing to stand up for something. They're willing to stand up for their rights. Yeah, their rights, all right. Their rights to blow people into bits and kill millions and kill thousands of their own people, gas their own people, rape their women, rape their children, hang people. Most of that Olympic team, I know some of the reasons why they went back to their country because Iran had started kidnapping their families and forcing them back. That poor wrestler, that kid, went back. He was a great kid, great wrestler. He won a medal. He gets back. What does he get back to? Does he get back to a warm welcome and thanking him for winning a medal for Iran? No, they hang him in a city gala. And MSNBC believes, well, that's Iran's right to something they believe in. So when you got a media like this, folks, in this country, when you got a media that's pushing for terrorism and pushing this regime and rooting for our defeat, it's nothing but sedition. And you know, what can you do? And again, you can't stop people from watching it because people are going to watch it. There's fewer watching it, but there's still people that believe it. There's still individuals that watch MSNBC and CNN and think it's law. They think it's the law. And I'm not saying Fox is all good either. I'm not saying that all these conservative networks are without fault, because there's plenty of fault to go around. Because many of them have their own agenda too, and they don't tell you the truth. None of them tell you the truth. But you've got a media, the part of the media, a good majority of the media that is pushing for Iran to win this. And did I not predict, I don't know if it was last night or maybe it was Tuesday night, when we had the ceasefire, did I not tell you that there would be a news outlet and news outlets this week would call Trump a chicken for backing down? So in other words, on Monday, he is Attila the Hun and the Antichrist. By the way, that's the other thing to all you Trump Antichristers. Get some mental help. Get some mental help. And some spiritual help may not be too bad an idea either. Okay? Just a little bit of advice on this late night. It's midnight in the Central Time Zone now, so we're already into Saturday morning. So I'm about done. But get some help. And some mental and spiritual help quick. Quick. Don't wait. Don't wait till in the morning. Call your 1-800-HELP-ME, I'm stupid line tonight. But I've just lost my train of thought. When you got a media like this, who needs enemies? Who needs enemies? Who needs enemies? And none of them are telling you the truth, folks. None of them are telling you the truth. President Trump, I know what it was going to say Monday night, when I told you when they had the ceasefire. Monday, everybody was claiming Trump was going to destroy the world. They were wanting to put a 25th Amendment. 35 Democrats signed a motion, including Mr. Fang Fang's boyfriend, that Trump needed to be 25th Amendment, be kicked out of office. Okay? Because he was going to destroy all of civilization. So Trump gets the Iranians to the table, and people were even in this chat say, well, he's just trying to correct his position. What position was he trying to correct? If he wouldn't have taken that position, he wouldn't have had them at the table, and he may have had to destroy the entire Iranian population there because they wasn't going to quit. But the tough talk worked. And sometimes when you're dealing with terrorist bullies, that's the only language they understand. But my point is that I told you that the media would call him a chicken for backing down when this ceasefire was signed Tuesday, that they would say, aha, Iran made him cave. And sure enough, as the green on my hat, this is my grandson's ball team, as sure as this hat is green and yellow that I'm wearing, it clashes with my red, white, and blue, but for Elias' sake, I'm wearing it tonight. I told you it would happen, and it did. And you've got CNN correspondents, and you've got MSNBC correspondents claiming that Trump caved, and that the Iranians are manipulating him and working him like a dog, and Schumer and all this bunch. As Jason Miller tells me all the time, liberalism is a mental disorder. And our media has got a mental disorder too. It's called Trump derangement syndrome. All righty. Okay. I told you. I told you. I told you. I told you. Marjorie Taylor Greene. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Grant, not Marjorie Taylor Brown. Marjorie Taylor Greene. But we got a media that's rooting for our destruction. I want to play this for you. I'm going to have to turn the volume back up because this may be a little low. I want you to listen to this. This is the presidents in the past talking tough about Iran. Roll tape.
With Iran. Our second goal is to prevent regimes that sponsor terror from threatening America or our friends and allies. Iran aggressively pursues these weapons and exports terror, while an unelected few repress the Iranian people's hope for freedom.
I strongly believe that our national security interest now depends upon preventing Iran from obtaining a nuclear weapon.
Well, I can say to you, Iran will never get a nuclear weapon on my watch, as they say.
As President of the United States, I would never allow the world's #1 state sponsor of terror to obtain a nuclear weapon. I said that for a long time, and I didn't.
You got a lot of damn nerves to be in the face of American people saying for numerous administrations, Iran is a problem. They have to be dealt with. Iran's a problem. They have to be dealt with. And then this man deals with them, and then all of a sudden you're complaining about him now. Right. It doesn't really make sense. There's a lack of consistency.
Hypocrites. Now listen to this.
It's more than hypocrites. It's the liberal mental disorder. By the way, another thing that John Kerry, our former illustrious Secretary of State, is saying tonight, he went on Jen Psaki's show tonight, and he told Jen that Benjamin Netanyahu, and by the way, the latest Tucker theory, conspiracy theory, we might need to start a little ticker tape running across the top. Tucker's latest conspiracy theory, that Israel was the one that was behind the Butler assassination attempt of Trump last year, or 24. It was 24, July 24, before the election. Kerry is accusing Benjamin Netanyahu of pushing Bush to almost attack Iran in 2003. It was right after the Iraq War. And at that same speech that Bush gave that night, I don't know if you all remember it, I guess it was 2002. It was right before we went into Iraq. And he called North Korea, Iran, and Iraq the axis of evil. Well, Kerry's screaming that it was the Israelis that got Bush into Iran, wanting him to attack Iran, but Kerry talked him out of it, or Kerry, the forces in D.C. talked Bush out of it. And Ari Fleischer tonight basically called Kerry a bold-faced liar, which he is, because Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't prime minister at the time. That was Ariel Sharon. That was right before the Gaza giveaway. So this is what we're dealing with. But Clinton, Bush Jr., Obama gave them $150 billion and thought he could buy them from not doing their stuff. Joe Biden don't even know where Iran's on a map. But there's been one man. Reagan didn't do anything about it. When the Iranians took those hostages, I'm going to tell you something. This is just me. This is why McDonald ain't president. This is why I run my mouth late at night when I should be in bed sleeping, but I want to come on and talk to you tonight. But the second that I laid my hand on that Bible in 1981, my first order of business, I would have sit down, I'd have called my Joint Chiefs of Staff, And I said, it's time to fly an American flag over Tehran. Because I would have let them know that taking our hostages and keeping them for 465 days is unacceptable behavior. You do not do that to the United States of America. Even Reagan let him get away with it. Trump didn't. Trump didn't. And Trump's the Antichrist because he hasn't. And Trump's evil. And Trump's a hard-hearted, cold leader. This is what you call leadership, folks. That's what you call the right stuff. He's made of the right stuff that put those men in the moon and put those men and had the courage and the vision to tell NASA, we need to go to the moon. It's part of the Space Force. It's part of Trump's efforts to get this country back on its feet morally and spiritually and politically and patriotically. To let us know we don't have to live like a bunch of losers. We don't have to be kicking dust and eating the dust of the world. We are Americans. We lead this country. We're the world's superpower. And it's about time somebody has done that. We ain't got him but 3 more years, and we better be thankful for him, and we better thank God that he won that election in 24, not Kamala Harris. But Stephen Smith said it. Stop, you know what, and running your freaking traps about Trump when all these other presidents promised it for 47 years and did nothing. Nothing. He did it. So just hush. Just hush. Just hush. I'm in a late night McFile mood, as you can tell, but I do it with all the love of Jesus in my heart. I really do. I really do. I don't even know what this is, what I'm about to show you. All right, I've already showed you that. Couple of more things, and I'm going to talk about Fang's boyfriend. This is Coach Tommy Tuberville tonight. He says, I don't give a rip about being politically correct. Here's the truth. America was founded on Christian values. If you refuse to assimilate and follow our laws, love our country, and be a proud America, then leave. By the way, that's Coach Tuberville, who is the senator from the illustrious state of Alabama, where my wife lives. And I'm here tonight. We don't want you here, and we don't. We don't want you here, if that's you. You know? Here is who I would think somebody that would make a wonderful president one day. Sarah Huckabee Sanders. Listen to her.
If you hear nothing else I say today, hear this. Jesus is our living hope for each of us, for our state, for our country. America was founded 250 years ago as one nation under God.
Very well said, Miss Huckabee Sanders. I would vote for her in a second. I think she'd make a great president one day. Maybe not right now, but I think down the road, hopefully, if the Lord tarries any length of time, would be wise. Now, the other story, and then I'm going to let you talk to me for a few minutes, and I'm going to bed. It's been a long day. This is the breaking story right now in D.C., and the only thing that we've got to go on is the story that has broke out of Breitbart and Gateway Pundit. And I will read you I'm just going to read you the story, and then you can make your call. Representative Eric Swalwell is accused of sexually assaulting a woman who worked as a former staffer for him, according to a recent report. The woman, who started working in Swalwell's district office in Castro Valley in 2019 when she was 21 years old, claimed to the San Francisco Chronicle that Swalwell began pursuing her and also allegedly sent her photos of his male parts. The woman also claims in one instance that Swalwell tried to kiss her in the car, and that in another instance he allegedly pulled out something and asked her to perform oral sex. This is all in the article. I'm just quoting the article. In one instance, the woman alleged that in 2019, after being invited to have drinks with him and becoming severely intoxicated to the point she did not remember that evening, the next morning she woke up in his hotel bed and could feel the effect of, quote, vaginal intercourse. April 2024, the woman went to another event where Swalwell was honored, and the two later met for drinks again. The woman became so inebriated that she only remembers snippets of what happened. She claims that she pushed Swalwell away and told him no. That's her story. Now, that's her story. I want to just make it clear tonight. We don't know the facts. This is what she's alleging. So this is not smear Eric Swalwell night. But what's happened in the aftermath of it, the Dems have dropped him quicker and have kicked him to the curb. Pelosi, Schiff, Gallego, all of the California biggies and the big names have told him, you need to get out of the governor's race, because he was going to run for governor. So now they're telling him, no, I don't think you can, or not supposed to, you shouldn't. We'll see where this goes, and we'll see where this investigation goes. The California Teachers Association's dropped him. There's that story there. House leaders have called for him to end his campaign. This is the thing that I've got a question about, and Cleo made a great point about this. And we're going to talk about the Holy Sepulchre. The Fang Fang thing was a spy situation. He was selling secrets, American secrets, to a Chinese spy while he was having sex with her. Why was he allowed to stay in Congress to begin with over that? That alone should have been enough, because that was national security. I know some of you ain't going to like to hear this, what I'm about to say. His personal life, that's his business. His personal life is just tabloid journalism. That's just National Enquirer stuff. People like to scoop the dirt, and they like to eat dirt, and they like to scoop mud, and like pigs eat pig slop. I don't care about that. That's his personal life. That's his personal business. This assault, though, that's criminal. The Fang Fang thing is criminal. Giving state secrets to a spy, folks, is treason. It's sedition. That alone should have been enough to have him kicked out of Congress. And I think that what's happening is the Dems are weaving their own web of destruction, because, see, they have destroyed so many other lives over this same thing on the right. They have made it their campaign to make sure that anybody on the right, any Republican on the right, is treated with such, no mercy whatsoever. And yet, when one of their own does it, all of a sudden, we need to get all the facts. CNN was quiet tonight. They didn't know what to say. CBS tried to cover for them yesterday, running some kind of weird story about NDAs, and people are not legally able to talk about something like this of a sitting congressman. And that's the most asinine thing I've ever seen in my life. This is a sitting congressman of the United States of America. But the spy thing should have been it. He didn't even get a reprimand for it. He didn't get a slap on the wrist for it. And he kept on threatening Trump. He kept on threatening conservatives. He as good as said if he got elected president one day, or the Democrats took power, he'd lead the effort to arrest every ICE agent. He's threatened if he gets governor of California, he's going to not just stop ICE, he's going to arrest ICE. And he's threatened MAGA people. He said, if you find out you voted for Trump, I'm coming after you. Well, Mr. Swalwell, you ain't going to be going after nobody tonight, but you might need to get a good attorney. Just a thought. He should already be in jail for sedition and treason. He should already be in jail for sedition and treason against this country. I don't care about the tabloid stuff. That's his business. That's his business. It's tawdry, it's ugly, it's sinful, it's wicked, but that's his business. The spy stuff is our business, because that has to do with national security secrets, and God knows what he gave that woman as it relates to the United States and our security. Nothing was done about that. I'm just an old South Georgia boy here tonight. I got a feeling nothing ain't going to be done about this either. But this is so big that it blows the narrative of the Dems up about they're all for women, they're all for women, they're all for women. Swalwell was like that. They're all for women. He treated Kavanaugh and treated the things he said about Brett Kavanaugh and the things he said about others that have been caught in these things has been just grotesque. The lies he said about Trump with Russiagate, the lies he said about these ICE agents, the lies he said about people. Well, they're coming home to roost tonight. The people he has slandered, well, guess what? He's now claiming that he's being slandered. You better be careful what you do in this life. You better be careful how you say things and slander people, because I'm telling you, it's coming home to roost. And it comes home to roost bad. But I want to just give you that food for thought tonight. We're going to follow this story. We're going to follow this story. But it's well said. By the way, the Holy Sepulchre opened today. The Western Wall opened today in Israel. So much for the lies of Tucker and Candace and others that claim that Israel was shutting those down deliberately to keep Christians out of Israel. Nothing but lies and nothing but slander. I want to tell you, next week, next Wednesday, is Holocaust Remembrance Day here in America. We celebrated it or commemorated it in January worldwide. It's going to be nationally next week, and we will have a special show for that, probably Wednesday afternoon sometime, to acknowledge that. And we're going to try our best to get Ricky Wilson on Monday night. She's been really tied up with her mother, and it's not a good situation right now. Look, it is very late. It is 1:30. I cannot believe that we've got close to 200 people still up with us, and I am grateful. I'm grateful that you've been up with me. I really am. We've had a good crowd here tonight. I told you we get more people up this late night. We must have a lot of insomniacs in America. There's just a lot of people that just are bored. And they just like listening to a Southern redneck. And they'd rather listen to me than go to sleep. And that's all right if you do, because I'm a night owl. I've enjoyed myself tonight, but I'm happy for our country. I know there's a lot of other bad stuff, but I'm just happy for our country tonight. And I want to welcome the Artemis II crew back home. Job well done. And Mr. Cooper, Victor Carver. I always forget names. God, I'm bad with names. I am horrible with names. But I want to just say thank you to him for the example that he showed. And let me see, Victor Glover, not Carver, Victor Glover, the captain, the gentleman, the captain. Tip of the hat, my friend. Job well done. You're a fine American. And we're grateful for the photos and the journey that you took with this crew and the pictures that you've sent us back to be proud again of our space program. It's good. It's a good deal. It's the right stuff. It's the right stuff. I wish we could get more right stuff in our people tonight. I really do. But we got a lot of folks that don't have the right stuff. They got the wrong stuff. They got the wrong stuff. All righty. I'm going to give you 5 minutes, folks. That's all I got. That's all I got. 5 minutes. But, Marshall, good to see you. It's Eastern time here, too. I'm just an hour behind you, buddy. It feels, I know it's about 1:30, but that's all right. I've been up later than this. Carol says they need a vaccine for TDS, Trump derangement syndrome. It's contagious. That's right. Rosemary says, greatly enjoyed the show. Thoroughly enjoyed it. You know, Carol, that's right. It's nice that the younger generation can see a moon launch. I remember seeing it when I was young. I do. And I remember feeling sad when those astronauts left Earth. I remember watching it. I was probably 8 or 9 maybe. And those 3 days they were in the moon, I'd go outside at night. It was summertime. And my mom and dad, we had a little porch in Atlanta, a little apartment. I would sit out there with them, and I would look up at the moon, and then I would feel sad that they were up there as a kid. And I remember being so excited, just so excited to see them land back down. And I guess it's the dreamer in me, you know. The dreamer is, you know, you look at the stars and moon and sun at night or the day, and you just wish you were there. You know, you just can only imagine. Oh, I got to show you one picture before I forget this. This is another. I don't know if this was taken by them, But there was a one of the crews that went to Mars. I want you to look at this picture right here. I saw this tonight. It's pretty powerful stuff. You know what that is right there? That's our planet, 235 million miles away. That's the distance between us and Mars. Ain't that amazing? That's just unbelievable. Folks, it's like Sarah Huckabee Sanders says tonight, if you can look up into this vast universe and you can see things like this and not believe in God, I'm not saying there's no hope for you, but you sure have a hardened heart. When you look at the stars and you look at the galaxies and you look at the beautiful universe that we've got, you wake up in the morning and you see the bright and the morning star before dawn. You see the sun come up. You see the beautiful sky. You see the clouds, the rain falling. You look into this night sky. You see the constellations that God himself named. The way he put the universe in space, the way he put our planets in space, the way he made this planet, the way he made the moon and the sun. The moon to light the night, the sun to light the day, to warm the earth during the day. That controls tidal situations. Everything is uniquely in symmetrical perfection. Man has messed it up, not God. It's just amazing to me how awe-inspiring it is. And I think it's the 8th Psalm that talks about how wonderful and glorious the creation is. You know, we've been studying this in our Bible study. Psalm 19 starts with the verse about let the heavens declare the glory of God. He wrote his word in the skies. That's his existence. That's not just anybody that can take credit for creating that and monitoring that and managing that. There's only one. And I feel that on me like a blanket at this late hour. It's the God of heaven, God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the creator. He's my God. I don't worship any other. And his son, Jesus Christ, lives in me because his story is written in those stars. And those pictures from the moon, it's an accomplishment we need to rejoice about tonight. We need to feel good about it. We don't need to be ashamed. We don't need to be ashamed to celebrate the exceptional work of our space program and President Trump. We need to be praying for him, folks. We need to be praying for Erica Kirk. We need to be praying for our country. We need to be praying for this world. You run out of people to pray for, just pray for the kid with the A's hat on tonight. Because he would sure appreciate it and he could use it. Thank you all for being with us tonight. I really mean that. I really mean that. God's handiwork, Janet, and his fingerprints are all over this place. Isn't it amazing? It sure is. It sure is. Kathy Tardif, good to see you tonight. She said, I enjoyed watching the Artemis II crew splash down. You know, it was wonderful to see it. I didn't get to see it live. I was with the babies tonight. But I actually saw the pictures of it, and it was some good stuff. It really was. And somebody over there in Facebook, I got a lot of Facebook folks saying I can't sleep tonight. Elaine says, good thing I don't sleep. So, good to see you, buddy. Glad you're up. Joan says she stayed up to see me. That's good. Dennis said I fell asleep waiting. Joan says, do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? And God bless you, Lords, and you sleep well and be at peace too. Believe nothing liberals say or allege. That's what I do. I'll amen that. And yes, Obama gave Iran billions to cash to fund terrorism. That's exactly what he did. That's what he did. That's exactly what he did. And that is incredible. Good to see Danny. Danny, good to see you from Oregon. I know it's not that late in Oregon. Pat and Deb Dolan's in the house tonight. So, good thing. Well, you know, we did get here. I told you we were coming. I've learned not to tell you when. I knew it'd be late. We was hoping to be a little earlier, but I couldn't pass up dinner with my babies tonight. And my son, so proud of Brandon. My brother John showed up and proud of him too. And I'm proud of all you. Thank you for being up with me tonight. Listen, I'm going to let you go. No show tomorrow. And you're saying, well, it is tomorrow. Well, technically, yes. Technically, no. The sun ain't come up yet. So it will come up in about 4 hours, 5 hours, 6 hours. So from 6 a.m. on, no show today, all right? And put a spaceship, instead of putting fire in the house tonight, if you enjoyed the show, put spaceships in that house. And we're grateful for you. We're grateful that you stayed up with us tonight. Thank you all. We're going to get this sound fixed one of these days. It's some of these videos, we can't control the video feed, folks. It's not us, it's the video feed. Some people record these things loud, some low, and I have to adjust buttons, and my mind's got about 1 million tabs, and I forget to turn the mic back on or something. So we're working on it. We'll get it right one of these decades. When Chris is in a wheelchair, probably. Listen, God bless you. God bless your families. God bless this great, beautiful nation of America. God bless this universe. Lord, thank you for the heavens declaring your glory. What a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful feeling tonight of this Artemis II crew that had the right stuff. Can I just say this to you before I close tonight? If this nation would come back to God, if we would all get close to God and repent, humble ourselves as 2 Chronicles 7:14 does, and turn from our wickedness, this country can have the right stuff again. The whole country can. We really can. The right stuff is Jesus. The right stuff is righteousness. Righteousness exalts a nation, but sin destroys many a people. We can have the right stuff. There's hope. As Sarah Huckabee said tonight, I loved it. There's hope in Jesus. He is the right stuff. But he wants us to have it if we'll just go to him and help him cleanse our land and cleanse our hearts. That's on us. It's on us. He wants to do it, but it's on us to let him do it. And I'll leave you with that tonight. Have a good one out there. I love you much. Have a good night. Take care of yourselves out there and be safe. Enjoy your weekend. And we'll see you back here Sunday morning for Faith Shows, our morning Bibles, our morning service, and Sunday night. And then we'll be back at it Monday. Good night, everybody.